So today I just want to show you how much space a round table takes up because a lot of people don't know. I'm just going to do it on my computer because I don't want to print out a bunch of things. Basically, a 5-foot round, which is the industry standard, takes up a 10 by 10 area. So you need 10 by 10 for people to be able to sit, get up and move around and not have to turn sideways and squeeze between each other. Round tables do take up a lot of space because you got to think about that center. It's dead space for nothing. In the same space that you can fit a round table, you can fit more banquet tables. Banquet tables take up less space because there's not a big dead center. So when people have a limited size space for their tent, but they want to invite a certain number of guests, banquet tables are usually better, unless their guest count is exactly perfect for how many round tables can fit under there. If they don't have a limited space, if they got abundant space, you can do, just tell them that they need a larger tent, then they can do round tables. Some people are just set on round tables. They think it looks nicer. But let me show you some examples. So right here we have the 20 by 20 with 4 5-foot round tables with seating around them. And as you can see, people will be able to walk through this just fine. Each 5-foot round table takes up a 10 by 10 space, so you can fit 4 of them in here. We have that same 20 by 20, but now we have 6-foot rounds. And even though on this paper or on this grid it looks like they fit, you will not be able to comfortably move through these. Each one should actually have a 12 by 12 area. So more like that. As you see, one's hanging out, that one's definitely hanging out, not good. So 6-foot rounds need a 12 by 12 area. 20 by 20 with 4-foot rounds. You cannot fit any more than 4. People will think you're gonna go to a smaller table, that you can add more. But you try adding more, it's just going to be overcrowded. You can't do it, as you can see. So to maximize space in any tent that is divisible by 10, which most tents are, 20 by 20, 20 by 30, 20 by 40, 30 by 40, 30 by 60, 40 wides. Sure, there are some tents that are, divisible by 5, like a 15 by 15 or a 30 by 45. But in general, most are nice even numbers that divide by 10. So to maximize space with round tables in a tent, it is a 5-foot round because each one requires a 10 by 10 area in order to have people comfortably be able to move around. And trying to go to a smaller table, a 4-foot round, will not give you any more space because it requires an 8 by 8 area for everyone to be comfortable, but you can't really fit any more in. You're not saving that much space when you do a 4-foot round. So 4-foot rounds will not maximize space. And then people will think that if they do 6-foot rounds, they'll be able to get more people, but you can't because exponentially as you fill up the tent, you're taking up more and more space. So if you had the same size tent with 5-foot rounds, you would be able to fit more people because the 6-foot rounds would just start taking up too much space. A lot of people don't get that. So keep that in mind when you're quoting people. Don't make the mistake where you're like, oh yeah, that'll all fit, knowing in your head that it won't, just because you're trying to get that tent out. Customers will not be happy with you and say that you deceived them and not be happy with the whole order. So just tell them like, no, unfortunately, if you get that many round tables, you need to go up a size in tent because they're not all gonna fit in whatever tent. Always be honest and they'll appreciate you for it. And if you're honest, they're more likely to go with the larger tent and trust your opinion.